Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Warrior Visions, and this is my team that I used for the recent quick pick PvP event that happened this past week. So I just wanted to do a quick rundown of this team. I did a recording prior to this, but it was way too long. I talked too much. So I just wanted to just give a brief rundown of my team, and then give my thoughts of the event itself. So first off, we have Fina here, who's holding Diamond Coal, Elven Bow. Elven Bow is at +4 for the stats, and then Helena's Trustmaster for the defense and the agility, and then you can see Diamond Coal is +5. She's holding Bahamut card for the magic and agility. Agility helps out for evasion as well as the unit attack resistance. And then she could benefit from the this is fine. She could benefit from the more HP as well from the bestowed effect. And then her Esper is Bahamut. Bahamut I have built for the magic stats and the Man-Eater. So just real quick. So magic stats, Man-Eater, some TP because she is the healer, so this helps, and then magic resistance. But there's that. And obviously she's the healer of the group, or one of the healers, but she can also attack. And just so you can see her resistance, -10 everywhere except for magic. Magic is 45 resistance, and she's neg resistance to dark. This is why I was shocked that she was taking those hits from Helena pretty well. I left her main job as her sub job, and some of the stuff are on. Superior healing's on, regen's off, full light's on, shadow bind's off, sparkling shower definitely on. But yeah, her main job as her sub job was mainly for aim, which helps with against evasion, and then concentration for more range, and then sacred shot for more range, healing, and magic. But that's pretty much it for her. Next up is Warrior Light. Warrior Light was the tank of the group. He was built to be kind of all around. So Knight Armor for magic resistance, the Luminous Armlet for dark and light resistance. Of course, the poison resistance down kind of went against me whenever I faced more. So I might have to reconsider using that light armlet. I'm not too sure yet. And then Kingmont's Trustmaster, mainly for the HP. I had the ability turned off, even though it would have helped, but honestly I don't want Warrior Light going backwards. I need Warrior Light to go forward. For his main job, I had some things on. I think this was on or off. This was off. Breath of Light on, his shield on. I have both shields on because he's sub job Spellblade, so his magic barrier and this was on. Honestly, I kind of keep forgetting to turn off magic barrier, but it doesn't matter. Honestly, I don't mind him using magic barrier, and then if he still has time, he'll use this on ally, which I prefer. Shift attack off. The map is too small for this anyway. Shiny sword is on. Yep, that's on. That's helpful. And Brave Presence on as well. Because I want him to first turn hate. Spellblade, I had resistance magic off. Taunting spell is on, but that's because whether he does this first or he does Brave Presence first, it doesn't matter as long as he does a hate first. They don't stack with each other, but the benefits of taunting spell is that he does some damage to whatever units he hits, and then Elena could continue the chains from there because she's also light slash unit as well. I may be losing out on defense and defense and spirit buff from the Brave Presence, but if it means that Elena could do more damage, then I'll take it. And then of course Magic Barrier is on. It could be off on. It depends on you, honestly. That's off. Bioblade's on for more to face against tanks. So I have him with Jaden's card on because I needed more area attack resistance without having to rely on buffs, on battle buffs. So that was the main reason why I had this card on Warrior Light. The missile attack and the dexterity really helped both Fina and Elena. Well, Elena's for dexterity, Fina for both dexterity and missile attack up. And then Warrior Light can benefit from the bestowed light attack on that card. And then his Esper is Demon Wall, which I feel is just an awesome defense Esper. Reason being because he has a lot of common stuff that you can resist with. Light resistance and dark resistance are in the meta right now, and just a lot of units in general are slash oriented. So he's really good for building up resistances to the common things in the meta right now, honestly. And then these are his stats. As you can see, 50 in slash, some in fight, strike and missile, some in magic, but then also 40% light and 37 dark resistance that's on top of that. More HP defense for first warrior, and more magic attack resistance, dark resistance from Providence of Darkness. Magic Guard was for the magic attackers that I would see, but it's hard to really decide. But my magic resistance was on the low end, so this just helps out a bit more. And yes, my Warrior Light has 97 fate. I don't care. He benefits more from having less fate. But with this 97 fate, I almost guarantee a full life from him. There was too many times where full light would cast and it just failed when I had him at lower fate, and I just said forget it. I'm just gonna put him onto 97 fate, and he can still take magic hits even though they're slightly more damage, but I'm fine with that. Next up is Elena, the girl everyone loves. Everyone loves Elena. I built her for evasion. I mean, who hasn't? So she's wearing the winter coat. Mine's 2 points off, as you can see, but I didn't care. She has her own sword, and then she's holding lower cross backpack, mainly for the stats and nothing more. The ability's off. She's holding her own card because she kind of has to. And then Demon Chimera, I have her as on this Esper because I feel that this offers a little bit more for Elena than Touch of Sylph does. I think their evasion nodes are just about the same, but the difference between Touch of Sylph and Demon Chimera has more to offer for Elena. He gives slash attack up, and if I'm facing other light units, I could have some light either to do a little extra damage to them, or I could just be more defensive with light resistance. And yeah, that's pretty much it because she can benefit from dark. But yeah, I kind of like Demon Chimera more, but I can see why people would do Touch of Sylph because they just don't have Demon Chimera. He's kind of a limited time Esper, but he should return. Corwell here was my anti-evasion unit, him and little Leela. The point of him was to stay back so he could buff up the team. Mainly being able to do focus targeting first, which he did 100% of the time, and I'm happy for that. So in order to make sure he did that, I had to keep him his movement short. So I gave him to produce his bow tie. So he gets moved down -1, which is fine. This was a small map anyway. And I get rid of his supports. I gave him supports that didn't give him range. I gave him supports that help with his accuracy more. Other than that, I try to make him a bit more bulky so he could survive, because he's not much of a damage dealer unit. I feel he's more support with range. So I just gave him Producer's Jacket for more defense, and he's holding Nivlu's Trustmaster to just give the party evasion, because he's usually teamed up with Little Leela, and my Little Leela is not built for evasion, which you're gonna see shortly. He's holding Tetsusilfa card just for more damage for himself and Leela, and to give himself even more accuracy. And then the Esper, Tetsusilfa Esper, was more beneficial for him because she will give wind attack up and missile attack up. Two things that Elena can't take advantage of. So you can see why Elena has Demon Chimera, because there's not much nodes that she could take advantage of in this tree compared to Demon Chimera. I guess she could take advantage of accuracy and wind resistance, but I feel this was just better on someone else. And then Corwall could take advantage of this with wind attack, earth eater, missile attack. There wasn't not too many earth units, honestly. And if they were, no one was picking them. So that was his role, honestly. He performed it well. He did his focus targeting first, and he would do his the evasion buff second. And by the time enemies were near, he was close enough to do damage anyway. So I kind of like that. Next up, Lil Leela. She was built for damage, so I try to get her damage as high as possible. So she's holding the Platinum Mace, which I'm 4 points off. It's a hard weapon to power up, honestly. And then I gave her Soul Damasa for even more damage, thanks to the attack resistance piercing rate. So I really wanted her to just do as much damage as possible. But her Trustmaster is Luel's Trustmaster, and the reason why she's holding this is to offer even more accuracy for herself and for anyone around her. But the luck also helps her with evasion, because she's with this build she's not as evasive, sadly. She's holding the Typhoon card because it not only helps with accuracy and her magic, but it helps against like other wind units to like pretty much try to take less damage from them. And then the personal abilities of luck up, magic, all this just helps out Lil Leela. And yeah, that's pretty much it for her. She was just another damage dealer that I wanted to just wreck face with. I do give props to that one person that was using double quick in Leela. That really wrecked me. And there was not much I can do unless that paralyzation went off. These are the supports that I ran. Nothing too special. And then damage delivery for her reaction. But yeah, she was just built to be a glass cannon per se. That's pretty much it. And last up, we have Titus here. I'm probably the only person out there in this game that used Titus for this event. But I didn't care. I had fun using him. I'm glad I used him too. His main mission was to go against those nasty Pierce units. Mainly Luartha, Winter Luartha. Because she hurts. I don't have her, but she hurts. And as you can see here, it's 65 in both Pierce and Missile. I'm pretty sure I should have used more Pierce resistance, honestly. I felt like I needed more. But I was trying to stack it up as much as I can. And I can stack it up more. I just needed to use a different card for that. But I try to make him a little bit balanced as well. So this gives for missile, and this was for slash resistance, which didn't really matter, honestly. But the card he's holding is mainly just for him. It's one of his better cards to hold because it gives him more slash attack, more health, and magic resistance, which helps with his negative 25 magic resistance. And then on top of that, he gets more agility, more light resistance, and even more HP. Golem, typical Golem build with the defense and the piercing rate. And then just as an importance, I have here Saintly Fortress on and Immortal Spirit off, because he would cast this first and then Saintly Fortress second, but the map is too small for him to do both buffs at the same time. So I decided that Saintly Fortress was the better to have on and will give him even more survivability rate. But the only other problem was that because the map was so small, if the enemy units got really close, he will use Sentinel instead of the hate, which wasn't a bad thing, but without the hate, it did made little Leela and some other units more vulnerable to attacks, which didn't help much. So I guess next time on a smaller map, I'll have that off. And then his support and reaction abilities were mainly for his resistance and particularly for magic. Magic reflex procced a few times, but didn't proc as often as I wanted to be. And I should have brought his fate down. This fate shouldn't have been at 84, but this is the results of Fina cheering too much on him and me not taking the time to reduce this. Honestly, I would have this down to at least 60, because 84 is just too high. He can't take magic hits too well, so I want that as low as possible. Even if he has his paralyzing slash, I just didn't want to do that. As you can see, -5. I think he's supposed to be more than -5, so there might be a little bug going, visual bug. Because this also gives magic resist, and this is 20 magic resist, so he should have been in the positives. I believe he was, but I think there's a visual bug going on right now that's occurring. I don't know why. But yeah, that's the team. As for my final thoughts of the event, I loved it. I like the mindset of having to choose 3 out of the 6, and you get to see what your opponent is running, so you have that guessing game of what they're gonna choose. The guessing game was a little bit easy though, because a lot of people were running the obvious units. Like if you saw light, they were most likely gonna pick light. If you saw dark, most likely to pick dark. If you saw the meta units, they're gonna pick the meta units, because everyone wants to win. I'm probably the only person that was using Titus, so every time someone saw Titus, they're like, why the hell is he using Titus? They probably thought it was a sucky player or something. And I am a really good player. I could have easily just kept choosing this team and gotten a lot more wins, but where's the fun in that? I wanted to have fun. Maybe next time I'll use all MR units. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, I have fun with this event, and I hope they do more. The only thing I wish they would do is just add some more limits, so that way it'll be even more fun to see some diversity going on, because when there's no limits, then people are just going to choose the strongest units and then go from there. But other than that, I look forward for the next one, and I'm going to use a different team. Obviously, this was the team that I wanted to use, that I wanted to replace, but Gobez kind of overlaps Fina and War Lights Espers, and I could have probably changed War Lights Esper, because I use him way too much, as you can see. But I just didn't want to go through that trouble, honestly, because then I had to figure out things again. But maybe next time I'll use these three, because this would have been my anti-magic team. It would have stopped Elena's. It would have stopped a lot of other magic teams that I faced. But this was good enough. I'm happy about that. And I hope you guys did enjoy the battles. And I hope this was insightful. If you have any more questions, then feel free to ask. Other than that, I hope to see you guys next time. Laters.